All right, mono black aggro. So, variations of mono black aggro have been very reasonable in Pioneer, which this format's getting a little bit closer to day by day. That being said, we're still missing some key cards that are good in that format. So, for example, we don't have Scrap Heap Scrounger. We're also notably missing copies of Mutavault from the mana base, so the only utility land that this archetype gets to play are 4 copies of Castle Locthwain here. We've got 12 decent 1-drops. Some of our best draws with this deck are going to be 16 1-drops, kind of, if you count Thoughtseize 2. Some of our best openers are going to be ones where we have 3 1-mana spells to play in the first 2 turns of the game. Demonic Embrace, I actually think is a really excellent card, this archetype. I kind of think of this as like a mono black Embercleave of sorts. Well, obviously it doesn't do quite as much damage. It does give you some evasion, and it can punch through stalled boards nicely. I also like that this card effectively turns your excess lands into some utility, which is a way to mitigate the fact that we're trying to play like 24 lands in our aggressive deck. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it goes. I feel like if we run into the ramp decks we were running into in our previous set with this, we should have a pretty good time. Our deck's got a pretty good mix of both disruption and pressure. Travaza, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I clicked the wrong deck. I apologize. It's a good thing I don't care about my rank chat. Wait, can I not? Right. Mono black. Mono black control will likely be up tomorrow. How's Amonkhet day 1, Ben? More ramp than Thoughtseize Mirrors Hannibal so far. Hour of Promise was good. How do I decide which basic lands to run? If my deck has mostly borderless cards in it, I tend to use my borderless basics. Have we brought the Glory yet? We have not played Glorybringer yet. I don't actually think I have... Are there any Glorybringer decks in the queue? I don't think there is a single... Yeah, I don't have a single Glorybringer deck in the queue. Celebrant Eyes maybe, and green-red Hellrider aggro maybe, towards the bottom. But not anything that's coming up soon anyways. I think Treasure Flare got a bunch of sweet cards added to it. Be interested to see... I probably should lead on Gutterbones, huh? Be interested to see if we're able to race here. I kind of expect this matchup to be bad. Which probably means this deck isn't good enough. I think the opponent's archetype didn't really get much from this set, but I still expect it to be very potent. We have Thoughtseize and some removal that could maybe be good. Grasp of Darkness is very reasonable in this matchup specifically. Would love to draw a 1 or a 2-drop here. Another land to guaranteed Rankle's not terrible. When I go ahead and just do this, I could activate this to be a little bit more resource efficient, but I think getting a 3rd Knight into play building up counters is big here. Yeah, it could be fine, Percy. Yeah, Claim Fane's generically powerful card. Yeah, Rankle's about to be very good, for sure. I think we could definitely be in a position to win this game. Thankfully, our deck doesn't really care about our opponent's ability to generate card advantage. Huh? So now do I just Murderous Rider this? Now we just Murderous Rider this, right? Do I? Now I'm gonna Rankle, actually. I don't think we need to draw. Yeah, Rankle pushes damage, and then I can use this on this next turn. I feel like Driven to Despair is going to struggle to be a card that's relevant if people don't care about traditional card advantage. Like, that's a card that excels when you're trying to, like, outgrind people. And if the format's not about grinding people, it's not a good inclusion. So they have to block with both of these, right? Because if they only block one, I get to pump one of the other ones and kill them. So go to damage. I'll Murderous Rider this, and then Rankle will make them sacrifice. Oh, just making them discard was free, technically. Let's discard, then draw. All right, this was an impressive start from us. Really surprised we punched through here. Never forget, chat, the best source of card advantage is killing your opponent while they still have cards in hand. Actual, factual best source of card advantage. All right, Grasp is definitely in. What do we want to cut? Yeah, Libation could be okay. Spawn's probably a little clunky on the draw. It's probably hard to hit them initially. Maybe I trim one of these. You want to cut Demonic Embrace? I think Demonic Embrace is actually really good. I think there's a chance, like, the boards come up in some board states. Do you want to, like, board an Obliterator and, like, pull up? What do you think of this? Let's try this. Hey, Lightna. Thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. I really appreciate the support. Drop me a DM on Twitch and let me know if you'd like to bump something in the queue or have a sub gifted to you on the channel. I think I'm going to mulligan this. I don't think I keep a hand without Thoughtseize or removal spell. You think I can get my 7 back if I ask, like, really nicely? This hand is beautiful, though. All borderless cards look real good. Really wish I would have kept the opening hand now. I'm gonna do this now while they're tapped out. Opponent's deck plays Spell Pierce, as well as things like the enchantments, God's Blessing, or God's Willing. Commetra's Blessing, yeah, that's the one. Well, this is working out well. Well, we're flooded, but 2 of our lands will eventually draw cards, and this can pump with mana, so that's nice. Alright, show me what you're working with. Take your lifelink. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Heh, heh, heh. I don't think I want to make them discard here. Like, they have Sentinel's Eyes to discard for free. And, like, I kind of want my 8th land with these castles. And then if this is a blank, they're dead. Because we'll hit them for 5 down to 6. And then if they draw a blank, Rankle does an extra 1 next turn. Alright, and now they can draw a blocker and it won't matter. Yeah, the being able to kill an enchantment is the reason to play Pharika's Libation Panda. You're not playing it for a 3 mana, they sacrifice a creature. Yeah, that was super impressive. Definitely picked them apart really cleanly there. Our draws were not particularly impressive. And still salvaged up. Some Jundlerus on the other side there. Harsh, but fair. It's a decent draw. I assume they're going to put Lurrus in their hand here. That's kind of gross. Alright, so if this is a blank, we get to Spawn of Mayhem next turn. Do I expect this or zombies to be the more powerful deck? I have no idea. Leaf Blade. Alright, untapped land so we can Rankle kill the Lurrus. That'll do pig. Why would they jump there? Because they wanted to recast it with Lurrus down the line? Gifted Aetherborn doesn't seem particularly good. Let's not throw names at my opponents, please and thank you. I'm gonna trade out Aetherborn for Soul Guide Lantern, I think. Sure, a lot of decks are gonna gain a lot of things with Pioneer Masters, though, 10-10 Hammer. I expect this format to change significantly when that set releases later this fall. Or this winter, or whatever it happens. Sure. So I haven't figured out if I like Obliterator and Black Aggro. I think it's fine as an extra card. I want to Thoughtseize since we drew it, so we can take a Priest if they have it. Oh, they didn't have red mana, did they? Yeah, I'm dumb. And they had claim. Yeah, I'm real dumb. After Pioneer, Masters, Historic jumps in power level from below Pioneer to above it. I don't know. I think questions like that are kind of silly because they're not ones you can answer from an objective standpoint. I think this is probably going to be my last one for the day, Thump. 6 hours is about good for what I'd like to be playing, and the viewer count dropped off a little bit. Still a decent audience, but I'm not going to push myself too much. I do plan to be live tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday as well. I'm gonna reserve pushing the extra long days for anytime we have an absurd count above the average. I'm currently playing 9 lives versus Goblet. I can say the client really lags at 1200 Goblet tokens. Yeah, gosh, I really messed up by Thoughtseizing this. I should have taken their call. Well, I guess we're not attacking my 2/1s into their 1/3, huh? They're going to cling here at end of turn and cantrip. I think they will preemptively ban anything out of the future Kaladesh Remastered. I mean, there's no guarantee we get a Kaladesh Remastered. And no, I'd be pretty surprised if they banned anything. There's a reason why energy cards aren't overbearing in Pioneer or Modern. They're just not as good in bigger card pools. Oh, cat combo and copter maybe. I don't know. It's hard to predict what they're going to do with their stuff. Yeah, that's probably more likely. Rather than printing a card than banning it, they probably just don't create it to start with. Yeah, opponent deck looks very similar to the red-black Pyromancer deck we played a bit of. I messed this game up pretty bad. Let's just start the third game on the play. We flooded here, but I also messed up a good bit. What happened to Runeterra? Well, we played Runeterra yesterday and the day before that, and we're going to play it again on Saturday. So by what happened to Runeterra, if you mean we're not playing it today, there's a new Magic set that released today. So I'm going to focus on that focus on that a little bit more while it's hot. And bring in some more removal spells, trim some of the Thoughtseize, play to the board a little bit more. I just don't want the Soul Guide Lanterns. I'd rather just have things that kill their stuff. Let's try that. You can always find my schedule on my website. It gets updated pretty regularly. It includes not only what days I'm going to be live, but what I'm going to be live with when. It's really difficult retraining Twitch chat. The number of people who are I think those are my favorite questions, and by favorite I mean the most obnoxious ones, when people come in while we're streaming Runeterra, and they're like, gosh, do you not play Magic anymore? It's like, well, we finished playing Magic 20 minutes ago, so like, pound sand, idiot. In a way, I almost fault my fellow streamers more than I fault the people in Twitch chat, because like, the majority of people that stream on Twitch don't have a well-organized schedule like that, right? So like, people have been trained to like, have to ask for that type of thing. Do not play Hearthstone anymore, not in a long time. Alright, I wasn't expecting that to just work. Some spells would be nice, but we're in an okay spot for now. Okay, Runeterra is great. I'm planning when Runeterra set 3 drops at the end of the month. I'm planning to do a little bit more Runeterra and a little bit less Magic for a couple of days around that set release too. Just makes more sense to focus on things that are at the forefront. Alright, so they're going to escape a Croxa here, so we want to draw a Murderous Rider or an Eliminate. Guess we'll offer a trade here. Does Runeterra have potential to be as deep as Magic? Yeah, I think the core card game system of Runeterra is quite possibly the best core card game gameplay of any game I've ever played. And in all honesty, I think the only thing that Magic really does meaningfully better than it is having a deeper card pool. And the deep card pool is something about Magic that I do really like. There's a big part of why I like formats like Historic. The deeper card pool is very appealing. The fact that Runeterra doesn't turn your wallet inside out to let you play it is also nice. Oh, I'm just gonna have to discard this to this. Yeah, I don't know. We ran kind of bad here, but I also made some mistakes in the second and third game there. Alright, I want to address a comment that I just timed out, because it's a pretty typical comment. Would putting a land in the sideboard of this deck, what was the exact wording? Help the aggro plan of this deck. That doesn't mean anything. Like, what in context does that actually mean? Are you implying that, I assume what you intend to imply is that you just watched me get unlucky, and then being a typical member of Twitch chat, you're like, we got unlucky every time we flood, cut a land. Every time we screw, add a land. Every time we flood, cut a land. Make your decisions with statistics, not with sample sizes of n is equal to 2. Take a step back. If you adjust your deck every time you get unlucky, you're going to be constantly making decisions based on bad information. 2, be descriptive. Don't tell me my deck is not quite agile enough and we need to refresh its game plan at the stand-up tomorrow morning. Like, this isn't corporate America. Help me understand your thought with specifics. Examples are preferred. Examples or mathematics are the two good things you should have. Yeah, I know the sound gate doesn't like when I get loud, but if I turn the sound gate off, you hear this. Yeah, that nice sweet hum in the background when I'm not talking. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. Messing with me when I get loud. Trust me, for all the people who say they can't hear it, I will get lots of comments about it. Any concerns on Amonkhet Remastered for Historic? As a reasonable human being that prefers to not give hot takes, nope. Yeah, I also think the RTX acting up can be funny too, so it's like not a strict loss. All the non-headphone users identifying themselves, yeah. Pretty sure we just suit up here. I think I'm gonna put this on... I think I want to put this on Spawn of Mayhem to play around Languish. I know that feels weird to, like, make my biggest creature bigger, but I would like a threat that survives Languish here. Yeah, I agree, Chris. The RTX voice also conveniently makes it so you can't hear the toilet that's right above me if my wife flushes it while I'm live. Which is a reasonable upside. Yeah, Magic's been very reasonable since they banned Teferi and Reclamation. Skunky Blitz, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. I'm bringing a Libation. I have some enchantments. Oh, we're still short cards. Maybe I'd rather just have these two as threats. That's probably it. The Senate has officially adjourned until September 8th without coming to a coronavirus relief agreement. God help the United States. We need it. Get registered to vote if you live in the United States. Make sure you vote this fall. I'd encourage you to vote a straight Democratic Party ticket. Vote out Trump and all of his enablers. I think I'm taking Solemn and just smacking them for 2 here. If they don't cry this off the table, I get to stick Spawn. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see what happens with the mail system between now and then. I'm timing someone out for FUD because I don't tolerate FUD in my thing, and their statement was completely based in ignorance and not fact. In your estimation, do you think the Democratic-led House did all it could to get a deal done? Seems like both sides held it up just as much. The reality of the situation was the Republicans in the Senate couldn't come to a deal with Trump. It had nothing to do with the Democrats. The Republicans didn't even get to the negotiating table with the Dems in the House because their own caucus was so fucked up because they're so greedy and evil that they couldn't even come to an agreement among themselves. The issue is never both sides. The issue is always the GOP. People are going to lose their homes. People are going to get sick. People's children are not going to have enough to eat because of the evil, greedy people that are currently in charge of the United States. And it is shameful. Okie doke. There isn't at any one single person you can blame for what the GOP is responsible for. They're all a sum of their parts. A land here is actually a pretty good draw, because that means if they disfigure one of these, we can bring them back. Mitch McConnell. God, am I going to get up here? I'm about to simp for Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is a useful idiot in a safe Senate seat from a deeply red state. If Mitch McConnell wasn't safe in a safe seat, someone else would be doing his job who is in a safe seat. He's just the one that gets to be the face of their constant evil because he's in a safe seat. That's the reality of it. Every single one of them that tolerates everything Trump has done and votes in line with all of them all of the time, they're all just as bad. It's just Mitch gets the privilege of being the face of that evil because his constituents really don't care. Thanks for the biddies, Boda. His face is, I will give you that. His face is very hateable. Alright, so what is this opponent doing? They've got like Questing Beast, and they've got like their own Phyrexian Obliterators. Like, part of me wants Grasp of Darkness, but Grasp of Darkness doesn't kill their Obliterator. I don't have an extra removal for Obliterator. Do I, like, bring in Libation? Maybe, what if I bring in an extra discard spell? I'm gonna bring in 2 discard spells and a Libation, split the difference. This doesn't seem particularly good. They can't block. We don't want to trade it with their Obliterator, and we can't block Questing Beast with it. How does the deck play? His deck's been really impressive. I think this has easily felt like the most competitive deck of the day, which doesn't really surprise me. Like, Thoughtseize, reasonable removal, good mana. Like, monocolor decks like this, always being able to play their spells when they draw them is a big draw. Yes, the current gutting of the post office that the administration is doing right now to try and suppress people from voting is going to have lots of long-lasting impacts. Yeah, it's really bad, Marty. We spent the first few minutes of the stream deleting a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think part of it's education related, but I agree with Mask there that there are definitely smart people that join cults on occasion. Trump gets away with everything he gets away with full flame because the things that you were taught during primary school about the United States having a system of checks and balances assumed that parties involved are going to be acting in good faith, which they're currently not. That system was a lie. It never actually existed. It didn't envision 50 some odd complicit senators. Yeah, it's gonna get really bad, Turnpike Bear, and and that's frustrating to say because things are bad now. But like unemployment running out, like things in the United States are gonna get bad over the next few months. We're going to combine a pandemic with a homelessness crisis. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Woolly Boy. Do you have any advice on learning a new skill? Practice lots. Do you think the states will step up, at least the blue ones? It's tough. A lot of the states don't have the liquid assets to fund these types of things. Are you dumb or does this deck not have any Amen Kit cards in it? It's got Thoughtseize in it. So I guess it depends on what you count as an Amen Kit card. Username on point, American bad guy. Oh, Dread Wanderer. Durf. Or any of today's deck's winners. Can we move Gruul and Grixis aggro up to the top tomorrow? We definitely can, Thom. Thank you for your absurd generosity. So it felt like my opponent was just holding up removal spells here. So rather than playing out my more expensive threat, I'm electing to generate value with the Gutterbones I already have. This is also a resource efficient play. Feel like sitting here generating value while my opponent's doing nothing feels appealing. Hexapelagic Squid, of course. And I think I'm just going to run that line back. I'm just going to go ahead and generate value while they're not doing anything. I have not seen the Runeterra spoilers yet for today. I'll have to take a peek. My plan for today and tomorrow, I'll probably take a peek at those and then tweet reactions to them, since I'm not doing Runeterra live on stream. I guess this was lethal. Maybe I'm supposed to force them to have it there. Looks like it's not going to matter. Is their hand just like lands and bad removal spells? Right, cast Doomblade. Nice 5-drop. Yeah, we don't have Scrap Heap Scrounger quite yet, but the addition of Thoughtseize and Dread Wanderer really makes it feel like this archetype is real in this format now. Would not be surprised to see this do alt the tournament over the weekend. Yeah, and I mean, like, and this deck does everything you want a good Magic deck to do, right? It's a little bit interactive. It's fairly aggressive. It has just enough disruption to disrupt people who are faster than it, potentially, but is still fairly linear itself. Is a good ideal mix. Rude. He was so innocent, chat. They just slaughtered him. Wow, that's nice. And by nice, I mean incredibly rude. Arcanus with Innocent Blood is neat, especially if you... I mean, I assume they have Young Pyromancer in the mix of their deck. It's the same Pyro put as before. Maybe, I'm going to be honest, I didn't pay attention to the username. Would you like to trade your Dreadhorde Arcanist for one of my creatures? Yeah, Mike, you have to manually re-up it every 30 days. I assume they have it set up that way, so that way people can't, they can't just set it and forget it on people they don't actually watch. Yeah, the white text numbers are real bad too, Marty. You're not wrong. It's basically illegible. I think we're dead, huh? Yeah, bonus build's real sweet. Soul Guide Lantern sounds great. Gifted Aetherborn doesn't seem particularly stellar. Eliminate sounds fine. The white text numbers on the cards that show, like you can barely see this 3 on the artwork. How legible the number of the copies you're playing varies greatly. I kind of think I just want Grasp over Murderous Rider. They're probably an oven deck, so like, maybe not. Maybe not. I think the more efficient resource removal here, though, is appealing. The 2/3 lifelinker for 3, probably not particularly useful anyways. Just deck queue. You can also find the deck queue linked on my website. Lots of good information in lots of places. And obviously, the exact order of the deck queue is going to change shortly after I sign off today. Because we had lots of people add lots of different things to it. And bump things and all that jazz. Around set release time, the deck queue tends to be a little volatile. So this can activate at any time to exile their graveyard, which is nice. We'll probably slot Demonic Embrace onto this next turn, or we'll Grasp of Darkness. Definitely Grasp of Darkness. Yeah, I think this card's super playable. Do you have a Disfigure? Wow! Claim Fame with Archfiend 2. Wow, that's sick. Yeah, love it. You think I just want to smack them for 5 here? I could be right to prioritize killing this, but I also want to keep pushing damage. Hey, Peace Machine. Get you tomorrow, hopefully. Wow, are they about to bring back two Archfiends vessel? They have nope, just one, but still very good, right? Oh gosh, and they get to haste it? Okay, they're not hasting it. Whew. Yeah, this is a really sweet build of Red Black Pyromancer. Oh, they had a land. Yep. Well, poop. Yeah, Red Black Pyromancer is towards the top of the queue. Maybe we'll have to try some of the things they're doing. Like a lot of what they have going on over there. Is there a list somewhere? I mean, you could probably get an idea of what they have going on just by looking at their deck, right? Just like look at the cards they've played so far and play some 4-ofs. Probably still dead. I guess another Demonic Embrace is lethal here. $50,000 is out of stock. I could probably reset the limits on those. Yeah, I think I set limits up, but we've just never hit them before. That's funny. There must be a lot of bumps waiting. Yeah, the points are going to move around a lot. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. All right, got pretty dismantled there, but not too upset about it. Their build was really neat. Yeah, I like they're kind of like Archfiend Vessels.deck, huh? Really neat example of something that's pretty unique that can exist in Historic that's just like not standard playable. Yeah, and this person's playing Dreadhorde Butcher too. Gonna be a lot of variation in this archetype, I think. Hey, Kane's Indignation, thank you for the biddies, I appreciate that. Nope, you can buy packs of Amonkhet Remastered. Keep in mind that Amonkhet Remastered is a bigger set though. So, like, I bought 240 packs of Amonkhet Remastered today, and I do not have a complete set. I did not even finish opening all of the rares, buying 240 packs. How much did it cost? Packs are $1 each. It takes roughly 350 packs for all the rares in the set. Sounds right. This might be too little too late. They just put Lurrus in their hand here. Fame with Dreadhorde Butcher. Also decent. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would kill me on the backswing. So if they draw a blank, I can kill them next turn, right? Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! Are they dead? This is going to a 6. They're going to 9. Is this lethal? So I put this here, and then they block here, and they take 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I 1 short? So I put this here. This is 9. They block 5. They take 4, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we're 1 short. Yeah, I counted Rankle. This is 4 and then 4. No spawn triggers on my upkeep. Alright, definitely another Grasp of Darkness matchup. Aetherborn continues to be bad. Soul Guide Lantern seems good. I think I'm just trimming some of these cheaper threats. They're like, bring an Obliterator because it like tramples over. I think I'm going to try pulling up. Being smaller hasn't felt good. I'm going to try pulling up. Yeah, if we would have had the Spawn on 4 or the Rankle on 4, we might have been okay. We were a little bit too slow since we had to take turn 4 off. My deck's crackling red lightning because while sideboarding, your deck takes the animation of your opponent's card sleeve. What's the deck of the day so far? Probably this one. Been a little bit of a rough time against these red-black decks, but in general, this deck's felt real reasonable. Agonizing Remorse good? I don't know. Two mana's a lot of mana. We played something similar to what they're playing. Not yet. We've played Red-Black Pyromancer in the past, but not today. Kinda have to save this for Luris, huh? Do I? Nah, I need to kill them. Nailed it. Easy game, chat. Just draw the cards you need. Did your village rights? As soon as they find cracks, so the game's probably over. Sounds good, Marty. Take your time. Deck queue's very stacked at the moment, so it'll be a little bit regardless. Okay, that cuts off a lot of their best draws. So we had played a variation with 3-mana Chandra. You unfortunately cannot play 3-mana Chandra if you are playing Luris, which they are currently. Yeah, they're drawing some lands too. I mean, like, I have more lands than them still, right? It's like, sure, they're breaking. Oop, almost made an oopsie. Because pumping the Rider, or pumping the Knight killed them faster. Gosh, do I want Agonizing Remorse? Maybe I do want these more than the pump spells there. Just try and be more of a mid-range deck in this matchup. Yeah, agree, Tintonhammer. Agree. I think I'm just playing this out proactively in case they have another discard spell. Being able to threaten to activate Snook their graveyard at any point is powerful. Cause them to play inoptimally. Lantern won that last one. Hey, we're a non-rotating format now, Vixed. My sideboard cards are great. Don't you make fun of my sideboard cards. Historic's a real non-rotating format. Yay, sideboard cards. How many lands does a Coco deck need? Do you have mana dorks? 22 is probably the floor. Well, at least they don't have white mana, or red mana. Yep. I should have attacked last turn. But Jeff, Reddit told me Historic's not a real format, so it doesn't exist in paper. Yep. You ain't wrong. Yes, if they cast Luris, I will need to crack Lantern in response to prevent them from doing the thing. They have a 2-mana removal spell here. You want to see them sack the 1/1 and then... I guess if this is like a vessel, making them discard is bad. Just infiltrates. That's pretty good. unfortunately, I lose my thing there. I get to smack them with this. Say, let's each sacrifice a creature. Trade, like, I get to eat this 1/1 for free, but they're hitting me for 4 next turn, and then have Phyrexian Tower with Dreadhorde Butcher lined up, so maybe this isn't good. Close game, all things considered. Wow, they're killing Rankle. Okay. I mean, I guess they're favored. They have 2 cards in hand that I have nothing. Emphasis on the nothing. This is where the magic happens. For those of you that are new, welcome to Hooglandia. All right, let's try one more with this. Feel like we got pretty unfortunate in that game 3. A lot of lands. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We've been streaming Kit Standard for a little over 6 hours. Remember, if you missed any of it, you can check out my website and my YouTube channel. The mouse over overlay is going to be missing the Kit cards. The Stream Decker plugin should have them. The decklist plugin. You can also type !deck to see them here. Yeah, close games. Close games with some rough breaks. The Diamond 4 rank floor is where we live. That was a fantastic draw. 1, 2, 3. It's just curvamentary. What could it be? I think I just called it zombies, right, Steric? Pretty sure I updated the deck list page to not list a color. Yeah, it just says zombies. Sure, that's a third-party plugin. Feel free to tag them on. Feel free to tag them on Twitter if it has issues. I don't have bandwidth to do that today, especially for something that's not a functional bug. The bug doesn't impact functionality. I'm not making time for it anytime soon. Those are magic cards.
I have the right to choose my own fate. I grew strong. You grow weak. Huh. You only think you grow.
Okay, one's flooding out here a little bit, so we got a shot. Yeah, Hazoret Liliana is a neat synergy for sure. This really feels like an attempt to like have a fixed Liliana the Veil. Hazoret's a neat finisher. I wonder if like they look like to be something kind of mid-rangey. Yeah, and like they have Croxa in their deck too. Seems really neat. Screwbeats Flood. Maybe. He's found a Croxa, so probably dead. Amonkhet's been super reasonable so far. Really feels like it gives this format a meaningful amount of texture and differentiation from the previous standard formats. This format definitely had like its only big standard feeling to it for a while. And feel like that's no longer the case now. Okay, so we Demonic Embrace on here. We get to crack in for 5, and then we can jump block this in the backswing. Yeah, the format in general has been super reasonable since they banned Teferi Reclamation. Turns out the person who had that idea was a real trailblazer. Nailed it? Please be dead? Yeah! Rankle is such a good top end in this deck. Just, yep. Soul Guide Lantern's been punching the clock and putting in work so far today. Felt real good. I think I'm just trimming Gifted Aetherborn again here. Just swap those out. Wonder if they're going to be... It's a Thoughtseize out matchup. I guess they're probably going to have... a lot of stuff. Dragon Fairy slaps. It is very Dragon Fairy adjacent. Green creature deck, Steric. I also boarded it in when I pulled up to become a bigger deck post-board in one of the matchups. It's primarily there for when we're going to be playing defense a little bit. We need to be a little bit bigger. How greedy is it to bin... Do I bin Eliminate or do I bin a land? Can I just bin a land? Nah, I'm gonna bin Eliminate. It's a Carnival. So this can deal 1 and 1 or 3 and make me discard, but that's fine. So they can kill this. If they can't kill this, I get to stick Spawn this turn, and then Spawn's going to run them down very quickly. So I expect them to kill the Dread Wanderer, take 1 here. Wow. Did you draw a 2-mana removal spell for my Spawn? Like a Grasp of Darkness or a Heartless Act here? Everything worked out better than expected. I wonder if they were expecting to see me play to, like, get better value off the Carnival with. So this cannot attack or block unless they have 1 or fewer cards in hand, so it can't currently attack or block. Hey, 777 Prophet of Krufix. Thank you for the 5 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. For keeping me around. Now they're kind of backed into a corner here, right? Yeah, they were playing like a mid-range strategy.
Seize the day, my minions.
So if they down tick Liliana, I get to Soul Guide Lantern them in response, and then her down tick doesn't kill my knight. Yeah, Lantern's been working overtime today.
Get out of my way already.
Alright, so dead to this trigger. Doing one last look there on their robber to see if they could peel a removal spell off our deck. Smart. Alright, I like to end on a high note. That one. This deck felt like it had a lot of, feels like it has potential. Like I said when we started, I think I would be pretty surprised if something like this doesn't end up being competitive in this format. I think this archetype just ticks a lot of the boxes you're interested in ticking when building a Magic deck. We've got reasonable linear draws between our 12 1-drops and our Demonic Embraces and our 8 flyers here at the top end. We've got good quality interaction between Thoughtseize and Murderous Rider and Eliminate, so that way people who are going to be a little bit more aggressive than us or going to be more linear than us, we can interact with them so our stuff can be fast enough to win the game. I think if you're looking for a good aggro deck, another good thing to be said about this is the fact that our mana base is just 24 black sources. The fact that we'll always be able to cast our spells consistently when we draw them is a really big deal. So, at any rate, that's going to wrap up for me for today, folks. Really appreciate everybody that stuck it out through the end. If you're a new viewer, make sure you hit that follow button. I'll be back again tomorrow morning playing a whole bunch more Historic. That's my youngest son, Declan. And if you are looking for an easy way to support my content, just one more reminder that I do have the raid promo going through Sunday. If we collect another 60 installs, I get a bonus. So I appreciate everybody that does that. As a thank you to anybody who checks out the raid sponsor using my link and playing through the tutorial, I will gift you a sub to my channel, or you can bump a deck in my deck queue to see that a little bit sooner. Peace, folks. Stay safe out there.